Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Geek Tech Show. In today's video, we are checking out. This is the Timberland solarwave. Solarwave. Wheat. Nubuck. Whatever. What a stupid name. So, what brings me to get those shoes? Well, first of all, I had the Eero version before and they were quite cool. So I thought that, hey, why not? Why not just get something equally as good? Well, it actually looks kind of the same. Getting those shoes, I'm like a little bit disappointment because the shoes are just, they're good. They feel good inside, but just the looks. All the looks about this thing. First of all, they're a little bit on the heavy side, but that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is it just seems like the material itself is just not as good as I would expect from Timberland. Timberland usually makes amazing shoes. Sometimes they have really good shoes, and sometimes their shoes are just okay. They're just not this great. And this is one of those cases where we have shoes that are good, but they're not this great. It just doesn't seem like the money that you should be paying for them. So those specific shoes have the honeycomb texture in them. Like everything seems to have like a grid texture to it. So we have the grid over here going right through this, going right on the bottom as well, and right here, right on the bottoms. Everything is grid wise too. It has pretty good grip for those shoes right here. There's a lot of grip to them. The shoes themselves they're stylish. Yeah, they're not really that bad looking. I mean, if you like this kind of shoe, they're not bad. They're not really bad. I mean, like, I've seen Timberlands before, and sometimes I'm on the fence with them. But those things are, first of all, you can remove this if you have to. But the shoes themselves, look at this, it's like bright, really bright. I'm just not satisfied. I don't know, I'm just not getting, this thing is over $100, it should be worth $100. It just, that doesn't feel like this is $100 shoe. It feels more like a $70 shoe. Like for $70 it's probably good. $40 it's even better. The cheaper it is, the better it is. It comes down to with those kind of shoes. I'm just not happy. I'm just not happy with those shoes. It's not the style. It's not the looks. I mean, I like the looks. I kind of like it. In the pictures, I like them. And then when you get this in person, you're like, what is this? I can't believe I just bought this. It's kind of like you buy this awesome looking vehicle and then you drive it and then like, what did I just buy? So it comes down to that. It comes down because the material just feels a little bit on the cheap side. It's all recycled, I get that, but I have seen recycled shoes before from Timberlands and they were so much better. It smells like leather. It's not too bad. The smell is not that bad. It could have been like a stinker. But it's just not good. I don't like. But let's go ahead and go up close and personal so you can check it out. Maybe you will like those shoes. So up close and personal, you can kind of see what I was talking about, the grid right here. And there's a lot of grid-like material going right through the whole shoe. I like the honeycomb kind of style to the laces going all around. Same kind of material going throughout this thing. The leather over here as well, lots of leather too. And right on the bottoms we have the grips. Really good, lots of good traction. I do like the way this is. The shoe itself is a little bit on the heavy side. It's not really that warm. It kind of lets you cool off with your feet. It's not like really a bad shoe. It's just the materials. It just feels cheap. It just feels cheap overall. It's like it got the looks. I gotta give that. It got really nice looks to this. But if you can see right here, I used that just a little bit, and you can see how this thing is folding. This suede material is just not to my liking. Also, and here you can even see it came right off the box like that. I can't believe this. Timberland will actually let it go like that. So it also has very white thing going right through the bottoms. If you're getting those shoes, make sure you get them without the white on the bottom, because it's really is going to be get dirty really fast, unless this is what you're trying to do with this. So below, let's go ahead and put them on and check them out and see how they actually feel when we do their on feet test versus what you see right here. So are they going to get any better on the feet? Let's find out next. So now it's time for the on feet test. Definitely some of the more comfortable Timberlands I put on my feet. I do like how they feel. Feel pretty good. And above all, they are comfortable. That being said, it's much harder, much tighter to put this on, and there wasn't actually an issue with previous Timberlands I had before. Also, this recyclable new material is not something that I really like here. Why is that? Because it's not because it's recyclable, but more of this material just feels a little bit on the cheap side. But then again, you're saving the environment, so you're doing something good by getting those shoes. Right off the box, I noticed a few things. Right here, there was actually a mark. And that's how it came. I don't know why. So the quality control is not in here. And I got this directly from their website, from Timberland. So I was expecting much more from them. Also, we got the laces, which you have to double tie them so they don't fall off, which is a case of a lot of shoes nowadays. Now the material aside, it here you can see a mark when you put them on, and you can see the stretch mark right on this. The shoes feel pretty good, very lightweight, and I love how when you step on it, you kind of don't even feel like you're stepping on anything. So this is really great shoes. Can't complain about that. Also, it sports a huge, you can see, huge amount of material insulation for you right over here, especially when you need this the most. So this is about bigger than an inch right in the back here, and a lot less on the front. Gives you a lot of freedom of movement. And when it comes to jumping tests, let's check it out. Let's see how good those jump. And I don't even feel it. This is really good shock absorbers that this shoe actually has. Very decent too. Overall, if you get those on discount, they're probably a great deal. I really like the previous versions of those shoes, like the Euro Hiker, and they also had some other hiking versions of those shoes. And too bad they stopped making them, because they were amazing. So those are quite like it. They're similar, they're not the same thing. They feel actually a little bit on the better side. They have a very distinct and interesting looking style to them too. What I dislike about this is kind of like it feels pretty cheap. It does. And for a reason. I mean, those are recyclable shoes. What else can you expect from them? In some ways I do like the way Timberland is moving toward the recycled version of those shoes, reused, recycle, and everything else. In other ways, this is not a very good method for them to move into. And why is that? Because those shoes are not going to last as long, so they really are going to damage the environment more because of that. So if you get shoes that are going to last pretty long, that's a good thing. If they're not going to last as long, that's a bad thing for the environment. I rather get shoes that will last much longer and are not recyclable, then recyclable and they break much faster. That's my opinion on that. But if you like this, you're considering getting those, they're very good when it comes to comfort. They are good with style. Not sure if this is everyone's style. I actually don't like the all black here, but there is other versions of this as well. And it feels like you're stepping on nothing, which is good too. Very great ventilation. So what I dislike, there's not much to dislike here. It's really about style and durability of those shoes, which is a little bit questionable in my end. And who knows how long those things are going to stay good together as well. Something that I also think you should consider. So out of 10 stars, I give this a 7 out of 10. Pretty decent. If you can get those on sale, go ahead and go for it. They're pretty decent shoes when it comes to Timberland. Some Timberland shoes are not this good, and those, for what it is, for the style, for the comfort, they're actually pretty decent.